Hello and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. My name is Kasha. I am your host, and in today's video I am going to answer the question, is my betta fish pregnant? My female betta fish pregnant, to be exact. Now, I've seen this question pop up in Google search as well as my own comments and a lot of betta Facebook groups, and I thought I would finally address it in a video because I don't think there are any videos out there addressing this, so maybe I might be the first, and I'm going to try to do my best. Long story short, your female is not pregnant because she will, when she does produce eggs, she will produce unfertilized eggs, hold them in her body. If there is no male present to spawn with her, she will eventually reabsorb those eggs back into her body and kind of use them up. And if you feed very heavily, she might stay eggy, and eggy is the unofficial term that breeders use when a female has a lot of eggs in her body. So she will remain eggy for a more extended period of time. So you can kind of control whether a female will have a lot of eggs or not based on how much you feed her. Exposure to males will also have an effect. So if a female sees another male, that can trigger her to produce more eggs, but there is a downside to this. If you expose a female to a male for a long period of time and there is no way for them to spawn, say for example in a divided tank, from my personal experience, I have noticed that females will actually stop or vastly reduce their egg production over time, which is actually kind of the opposite that I hear online. I oftentimes will hear that you can't keep males and females in the divided tank together because of the hormones that the male releases, and then the female will become eggy, she'll become eggbound. I've seen the complete opposite happen in my experience, which is quite interesting actually. I did make a little diagram to help explain, and it's kind of derpy, but I did my best. So this is a female betta, and this is actually where her eggs and ovaries would be. So this little pink triangle, I'm gonna put this up closer so you can see it. This is where her ovaries are. Right here at the bottom is where her egg spot would be. So this is where the eggs would exit, and this is roughly where the intestines would be located. So her stomach. This is, I think, the reason why a lot of people get confused when fish get really big and start to think that your fish is egg-bound, because if your fish is constipated, they're going to get big right here, which is quite close to where the eggs are. And surprisingly, getting egg-bound is not that often in betta fish. It's actually quite rare. More often, your fish will either get constipated from eating a lot of dry foods like pellets or flakes, or maybe eating too big of pellets, or eating too much, because if you have a community set up, bettas can be little piggies and they can eat too much, and sometimes it's quite difficult to pass that food. Also, certain health issues can also cause swelling in the body, which would enlarge the area that is quite, close to where the ovaries are. So it's very easy to confuse the two. What else should I point out? Oh, one of the reasons that I think a lot of people do get confused and think that their female betta is pregnant, because there are species of fish that can not only become pregnant but give birth to live baby fish. So instead of releasing the eggs and having them fertilize externally, which is what bettas do, some fish, which one really good example that's really common in the hobby is the guppy, can actually, the male will actually fertilize the female internally, and she will hatch her little eggs inside her body, and once they're hatched, she'll kind of give birth to live little babies. So she can actually be pregnant, but I think that's where the idea came up. So a lot of people will get a female betta, they'll be brand new, they probably heard of guppies in the past, or maybe have owned guppies, and then you see your female betta getting bigger, and then you start to get concerned. Usually it's not a big problem. If you see your fish getting kind of really chunky, you can fast her for a couple days. That will actually help trigger the reabsorption of the eggs back into her body. And some females will generally stay big just in general, and one example of that is crown tail females. They're just always huge. They're always big. They're weirdly shaped. That body type just comes with the crown tail fin type. So it's something you shouldn't worry about too much. And you can actually see and check if it's eggs or not if you have fish that are either very light bodied or cellophane. Now cellophane fish, that term refers to the absence of color. So cellophane fish don't have pigment in them. or can have a mixture. So a lot of koi will have a cellophane layer with other colors that are on top, which are the splotches of, let's say, black or red, or yellow is like a semi-transparent color. But if you do have a cellophane fish, I've shown that before in previous fish where you can actually see the eggs in the ovaries inside the body. It's kind of really cool. I think it's really interesting. And if you have a lighter bodied female, you can definitely try to see that. If you have a flashlight, or you can use the flash on your phone, if you illuminate your fish from the back of the tank, you can actually use the light to help you see the ovaries, because the light will pass through the body and will make the fish slightly more transparent. Something cool to do. I've done that before. So overall, I hope that this video helped you, and I hope that you're not worried about your female betta. She should be just fine if she's getting kind of big or eggy. Most females do at some point or another when they mature. I hope that this video helps you. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know down below what your experiences with female bettas were. If you would like to see more about female bettas, I do have some interesting videos about conditioning females to spawn and spawning male and females together. I have some fails, I have some successes, as well as full series where I show you how I raise fry from babies to adults, as well as I will be starting my betta breeding series very soon. So on that note, before I continue rambling anymore, I'm gonna go, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!